Hi everyone, Dr. Michelle here. Today I'm going to be making my all-healthy raw chocolate truffle balls. Now this was one of the first ever recipes I put on the Food Effect blog back in 2015, I think. I'll insert some vintage photography here on the screen for you to see from that post. Thankfully, my food photography skills have improved since then, but this recipe has really stood the test of time and has remained one of my all-time favorites. My clients absolutely love them too, and I'd say they're probably one of the most popular recipes from the Food Effect diet books. People often share and post about them on Instagram, and hopefully a lot more of you will too after watching this video. With Valentine's Day just around the corner, I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to share this recipe, which would make a perfect Valentine's Day treat, sure to please any of your loved ones, including yourself. And if Valentine's Day has already been by the time you're watching this, keep watching because these are perfect all year round. They're gluten-free, dairy-free, refined sugar-free, and vegan, but taste totally delicious and decadent, more so, I think, than any unhealthy chocolate truffles. These are the perfect thing for anyone looking to cut down on highly processed, sugary junk foods. They're made from all natural whole food ingredients, meaning you won't get that spike and crash in blood sugar levels like you do from unhealthy versions of chocolate truffles and sugary processed foods. These are the perfect thing for a mid-afternoon or post-workout snack, or for a late evening snack when the sweet tooth cravings strike. They also freeze well, and I love keeping a batch of these in my freezer to have on hand for healthy sweet snacks. So let's get on and make them. I'll talk through the ingredients and show you how quick and easy they are to make. I should have also mentioned that this recipe is up on my blog and I'll link it in the description below. So let's go through the ingredients. First up, we've got our nuts. Now anyone who knows me or has followed me for a while will know that I'm a huge nut lover and advocate them wherever I can. I've got here almonds and walnuts, half a cup of each, but you can use whichever nuts you prefer for this recipe. All nuts are an amazing source of protein, fiber, and healthy fats, vitamin E, and tons of other vitamins and minerals. If you haven't yet watched my Healthy Snacking 101 video, I highly recommend going to check that one out. I actually mention this recipe as one of my favorite and go-to snacks, and I explain why there, and I also talk a lot more about nuts and why I recommend them to all my clients as a go-to snack, and I talk a bit about portion sizes, so do check out that video. Next up, we have our medjool dates. These are an amazing source of fiber, potassium, and the immune boosting minerals, zinc, magnesium, and selenium. They're also totally delicious. Then we've got our cocoa powder. Cocoa powder is high in antioxidants, which fight against inflammation, aging, and diseases such as cancer and heart disease. There's tons of science also to show that cocoa helps decrease our bad LDL cholesterol, raise good HDL cholesterol, and there is a recent study showing that regular chocolate consumption is associated with a lower BMI than occasional chocolate consumption in the form of cocoa powder, in case you needed more excuse and good reason to eat chocolate. And then we've just got some salt and vanilla extract, which we're gonna add, and some toppings over here, which are totally optional to roll the balls in after. I've got desiccated unsweetened coconut and more cocoa powder. You could use matcha powder, goji berries, anything you fancy, crushed nuts, or you don't even need any toppings at all. They're just as delicious as is. So I'm gonna whiz this up in a blender and come back and roll the balls. All right, so I'm back from blending all the ingredients in my food processor, and I've got a sort of chocolate dough here. What I would say is you do need to be quite patient with it when you're blending, depending on the strength of your blender, of course, but just pause, scrape down the sides and keep going. If you have a tiny bit of the texture of the nuts, that's totally fine. It doesn't need to be completely smooth, but do keep blending till the ingredients come together and you sort of have a dough like this. So I'm just gonna roll them into balls now. You sort of want a heaped tablespoon size for them, and I'll show you how I do that, but I will probably speed it up so you don't have to watch me roll every ball. Okay, so I've rolled it all into balls now, and I got 18 balls from that batch, which I got right because for the recipe I say it makes 15 to 18 balls, so obviously depending on the size you roll them. And what I should have mentioned is this is a great budget-friendly recipe. I know everyone's looking to save money at the moment, and these balls, which you do get similar ingredients in the stores, supermarket, they probably cost around, the ones I know of, cost £2 something a ball, and this costs just a few pounds more for the ingredients to make a whole big batch that you'll have for a few weeks or at least a few days. I highly recommend this recipe for that reason too. And now you can either just keep them as is, pop them into the fridge or freezer, I'd say for at least 30 minutes to set, but you can keep them there, or you can roll them into your toppings. So as I mentioned, I've got cocoa powder and coconut. I'll just show you one or two. I'm not going to roll them all, but I'll do them in cocoa powder. This also makes them really seem more truffle-like. So if you are going to make them for Valentine's Day, you might want to do this. What's also really nice is to do like 3 different toppings and roll them all and then put them out on a plate. I'll put some photos in because I've done that in the past. So like that, and then you have an assortment of truffles. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that recipe. Please do tag me. I am on Instagram at @thefoodeffectdr. If you make them, I would absolutely love to see. And if you could like this video and subscribe to my channel, it would mean the world to me. I also shared last week my Valentine's Day inspired salad, my strawberry, feta, fig and pine nut salad, which is totally delicious, perfect for Valentine's Day and all year round. So do go check that out if you're looking for some Valentine's Day inspiration. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy these, and happy Valentine's Day.